everyone, and welcome back to In Between Realms, where we explore the worlds behind fantasy through conversations with authors, creators, and fellow book lovers. I'm your host, Elizabeth, and I'm so happy you're here. Before we jump in today's interview, I wanted to spend a few minutes catching up on everything happening in my little corner of the fantasy world. For this week's fantasy news, one incredibly exciting thing is happening. If you're a Brandon Sanderson fan, you probably already know this, but if not, Apple TV Plus has officially picked up the Cosmere universe for adaptation. Right now, the plan is to bring Mistborn to the big screen while the Stormlight Archive is being developed as a television series. What makes this especially exciting is that Brandon Sanderson isn't just handing over the rights. He's expected to have a major creative role throughout the process. As fantasy readers, we're all seeing adaptations that didn't quite capture what made the book so special. So hearing that the original author will be heavily involved definitely gives me hope. I'm really looking forward to see how this develops. That is very exciting about the book news because Brandon Sanderson has become a well-known author in the fantasy world, along with Sarah J. Maas, Rebecca Giles, and many other authors. So I'm very excited to see how this all goes. One thing I really love about the fantasy community is how supported it can be. Behind every book is an author who spends months, sometimes even years, building worlds from scratch. And behind every piece of fantasy art, every map, every book, box, and every handmade item is a creator pouring their imagination into something they hope others will enjoy. That's one of the reasons I created In Between Realms. I want this podcast to be a place where those creators can share their stories, their passion, and the world they work so hard to build. Whether you're a bestseller author or publishing your very first book, every story starts with someone brave enough to create it. Now for my reading update. I'm currently on my second read through of Kingdom of Time, and it's been interesting picking up on details I missed the first time. It's amazing how story can feel different when you already know the world and the character. As for my TBR, let's just say it's become more of a book collection than an actual reading list. Every time I think I'm making progress, I discover another fantastic book that I can't wait to read. Hopefully, one day I'll get through them all, which I don't know. But my hope is there. And now for my writing update. As for my own writing, Fraction Realms currently sits at 16,043 words. And I'm continuing to build the world one chapter at a time. Alongside the novel, I've also been developing a new companion project that I'm incredibly excited about. I can't share all the details just yet, but it gives readers the chance to experience the world of Fraction Realms from a completely different perspective through its characters. I'm still putting everything together, but once it's ready, I'll be opening a waitlist for anyone who wants to be among the first to hear more. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, keep an eye out because I'll be sharing more very, very soon. A quick Ink and Realms update. Tickets are continuing to go out, and it's been so exciting seeing more people joining us for the September event. Every week, we're getting a little closer to bringing this fantasy world to life. Don't wait too long if you like to be part of the experience. I'm looking forward to sharing more behind the scenes as we get closer to the event, and I can't wait to welcome all of you into the realm this September. I also wanted to share a quick update on Bookish Realms. Tickets are now available for our very first Bookish Realms market, and I'd love to invite you to join us. Admission is completely free, and you'll have the chance to meet authors, browse unique bookish vendors, discover handmade creation, and connect with fellow readers. As a special thank you, the first 30 attendees will receive a free Bookish Realms tote bag. So be sure to reserve your ticket and arrive early. I can't wait to welcome you and celebrate our shared love of books and storytelling. I hope to see you there. All right. And now for today's guest. Welcome to In Between the Realms. I'm so excited to have you here.
I am so
I
excited to be here.
Yay. I recently listened to Kingdom of Time and currently listening to it again because the first time I was juggling a million things and realized I missed a lot of details going through it. The second time I caught some things I didn't notice before, even though I haven't finished yet, but I still have a couple of questions about it without, doing any spoilers because I don't want your readers to lose that experience. So, for the readers who haven't discovered Kingdom of Time yet, give us your spoiler-free pitch. Why should they pick it?
Man, that's such a hard question in itself. I am always afraid I'm going to spoil it, like to anybody who walks up to my table. But Kingdom of Time is a story that follows the Spectreline, who are these badass immortal warriors tasked with defending lesser kind, which is us, unfortunately, um, until the day lesser kind strikes back. Which is crazy because they shouldn't even know that the Spectreline exists. They operate in the shadows, as so many immortal warriors do and have before them. But what makes it unique is that it does have four FMCs from the jump, which, like you were mentioning, it is like a brain fully on sort of book. You have to be listening and paying attention because I will hide stuff everywhere. And even in so, like in the ebook and the physical book, there are images that you can see
Mhm.
that kind of help you with where you are. And those images have clues in them. So you don't get that in the audiobook,
Uh,
which can be kind of hard. But the biggest one, the narrator, her name is Rickle Hayes. She's amazing. She does read it. So you get to hear it. You don't miss out there. But yeah, it has you've got Nora, who is a Spectreline warrior, Savalin, who is a keeper of the Covenary. So her people are kind of like witches with two different types of magic. One that's forbidden. I'll let you guess what type she has. Um, and then you've got Everly, who is an exiled warrior, and Ava, who is our mystery. We don't really know what Ava is or why she's so important, but she surely is. So I know people have, they've even told me that they have sped read over Ava chapters and then lived to regret that at the end of the book. So I
I
warn
know.
you, do not do that.
Oh, definitely. I went from one character to the other when I was listening to it, and when I found out about Ava at the end, I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, at one point I was listening to one of the characters who's very aggressive with her. And so I was like, you know what? If this book was a portal, I would go in and slap that man across the
Yes.
face. I was like, bro, like, we need to have a word. So it was a really good experience. I really enjoyed the book, even though I missed many, many things. Even so, as that, I was really intrigued about it. And the twist at the end, when I found out the truth about that, I was like,
Did it surprise you?
yes. I was like, I literally felt sad when that happened. I was gonna cry. And then when she revealed the truth, I was like, oh, I'm glad he's dead.
Right? Like, no, there are so many twists and turns and hidden like little treats like that that I feel like it is a totally different experience reading it a couple of times. Like, you're never going to catch all of it in the first pass.
Mm.
Like, it's not even like you don't necessarily need all of it to enjoy it. But if you do ever go back and reread, you'll find more stuff every time, which I think is so cool.
Yeah, definitely. I am definitely gonna finish because I listened. I'm like basically in chapter 12 again. And
Okay.
so I'm still like whatever I missed from the first one, I understand it a little bit more. So
Yeah.
every single time I feel like I might understand it even more. Uh, but yeah, the last part I was like, I literally was gonna cry and I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. But then she was all like chill and talking about it. I'm like, bro, good.
Surprise!
So where did this idea came from? This a story where did this came from?
It's so interesting. I never intended, it's not like a story that I dreamed about writing for a long time and have been building in my mind. It really just happened very quickly. So before Kingdom of Time, I wrote three novellas. They're horror comedy novellas, and they were just like fun experiments to learn the self-publishing process.
Hmm.
Um, and they're so fun. They're quick to write. And I was moving on to write a fantasy novella. So I was just going to see if I liked it. And I got the first, it was only going to be Nora. Like that was it. And so I got the first chapter done and I was like, no, this can't be a novella. This is too big. I already have so many ideas of like different peoples that are going to be in this. Like it needs to be a full book. It needs to be five full books. So that's where it came from. But the whole spectraline covenary of it all, there are so many books with Fae, and I love Fae. I mean, they have nothing on Vulcan for me, but they're fine.
Hmm.
And so I knew I wanted some type of immortal warrior, but not necessarily another Fae. So there are similarities. They do have sharpened canines, but you could say that that's also just like from vampires.
Hmm.
They they are long lived. They're super strong, and but they don't shift. Like they don't shift into like an animal form. And what you'll learn in the second book, which I'm currently writing, you'll learn a little bit more about the Spectraline and the Aesir Sensori, which are their like enemy, their arch nemesis. Um, they're built for a very specific purpose, and so it'll start to make a lot of sense when you learn more about what the Aesir Sensori are and how they kind of like work together.
Oh, okay, okay. So it is a very high warrior type of book, and I could imagine them in my mind when I was listening to them, and I was like, they're very cool, and I'm like, they're like, you don't want to mess with them, basically.
No. I always think about that. I'm like, who would they win? Like, would they be stronger than the Fae? Have you read Red Rising?
I haven't. I haven't. I
Okay, well,
read.
they're
Uh-huh.
human. They're human, but they're just like stronger. I'm always like, would they beat them? Like, I'm always pitting them in my mind against other people, and they always win.
Most likely, yes. Was there a scene or a character that this well, you mentioned that Nora started everything on, the everything the story, but it's well, let's say it's any of them your favorite.
It's so hard. So, to understand this, let me tell you about some of my favorite FMCs just like across the genre. So, I love Manon. I like Manon more than I like Aelin. But I love Aelin. Like she's second best for me in the SJM universe. So those are my two
Hmm.
there. I love Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. Like I
Oh.
uh that her book of the Game of Thrones books is one of my favorites. Like it's so good. So that's the type of FMC that I'm looking for. Like I don't want them to necessarily be like overly aggressive. Like, well, they are aggressive, but not like annoyingly aggressive or annoyingly whiny. So I'm trying to find that middle ground.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a favorite of all of the females in Kingdom of Time, it would be Audrian, who you may have forgotten she is there, but she is my favorite.
I think I might have to go through it again because I can't remember her.
Audrian is
Uh-huh.
with Savalin when they go across the crossing.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's
Okay.
like she's not in the full book. She's in half of it. But there's so much that we don't know about her, and
Mhm.
she has a big history, which I'm so
Really?
excited to
I
tell her
like her though.
to
I really like her.
know.
So, if someone walked into your world tomorrow, what should they know before stepping inside?
Oh, and to Jordana.
Mm.
Um, so I guess the purpose of the Spectraline, or what the Covenary call the Everlast, were to protect lesser kind, right? So they should be safe. But as you see, like with Everly and Ava, something has happened in the world, and they're no longer protecting the Spectraline are really no longer protecting mortal kind. They're almost like hiding from them, which is kind of strange. So, I don't think you have to be super on guard to defend against them, but just against other mortal, watch your back.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, so what was which character was the easiest to write?
Oh, so there are parts. This is so strange. Like in the like the traditional fantasy setting, so Nora and Savalin, I can make anything I want up, right? And it's so easy and so fun to do that. Like I get carried away, as you probably saw. You're like, okay, this is enough. Just like get to the story. But then, like in Ava and Everly's side, most of that structure already exists in the world. So I'm not having to make a lot of stuff up, but where that's easier, it can also be hard to try to fit the story into an existing world. You could probably tell that Mortal City is based off of New York City. Um,
Mm,
what I didn't do, like here's the map. This is the map of the book. It's kind of hard
okay.
to tell, but it's like old Jadana. So it doesn't have Mortal City on it. All it says is basically like in the back of the glossary, it's like Mortal City is built on the grounds of the old like mortal settlements, which are on here.
Uh-huh.
So the next book will have more detailed maps, but uh, as far as like specific characters, I think probably Nora is easiest to write because she is most similar in personality to me. Um,
Mm,
whereas like Savalin is a bit more understanding than I am, and Everly is a lot more confident and a lot she's quick and she's sassy and she has that in spades, and I don't really have that. And then Ava is just pure aggression, and then like I don't really have that either. So personality wise, Nora, she's just like very focused. She has a goal. All she wants to do is reach that goal. No interference from anybody else. Like, nothing's going to distract her. And so that's really easy for me to write. That feels natural.
wonderful. I I really thought about Nora and the other characters, and I really liked the way you portrayed them in there, especially this, the one that's kind of like the sassy one. I like it.
Everly, thank you.
Yes, I like sassy characters. They make me laugh.
Yeah.
Um, so which character fought you the most while writing?
Um, so probably Ava. Ava was hard for me to write. She has a lot of similarities of my best friend, who she used to be a police officer in real life. And so like the whole time I was writing Ava, I was like asking her questions about like, what is it like? Tell me about this. Like I was doing my research through her, and at the very well, there's one part in Ava's POVs where like there's a taser involved, and I wrote it out, and my friend was like, "That's not how that tasers don't work like that. That's you're gonna have to fix this." And so there was a lot about Ava that was I found difficult. Like in the beginning, she's very like she's more than standoffish. Like she's kind of aggressive towards Alice, who's come to help her. And then she kind of warms up. She's trying to figure herself out a lot. And that isn't something that I've pretty much no, I have been this way since the fourth grade, like since I can remember. So I haven't gone through those struggles that she's going through. So those are kind of hard for me to write, but it's helping me understand. Like it's giving me new perspective into other people's lives, which is like not something I expected to happen just writing a book, you know?
Yeah, yes, of course. As I also write my own, novel, and it's you have to get into the character itself to
Yes.
really understand, and it's like you have to get into their mind, try to be that person so you can like write it the way it is because then it's gonna sound like you and you're gonna have all the same characters. But yeah, I really enjoy how different they are. They're
Thank you. I'm glad
different.
they come across different. That was the
Yeah,
goal.
well, you really accomplish it because you can really tell the difference who is talking, who is the character, and it's like I really, whenever I switch from POVs and different, I was able to understand like there were different characters. Even though, like I said, I miss some of the stuff, like details and stuff, but the characters itself, I did not. I could understand and see the difference between them. That's why I said when if I wish the book was a portal so I can go and slap, one of them out.
No, that's so awesome because it is. And you understand, like, it is so hard to get in their headspace to make sure that they are different enough and like write it as authentically them. It's they're telling the story. I'm just writing it. And that's something that I face all the time. I'm like, I really need you to do this. And they're like, I'm really not going to do that. Like, I want to do this. And so, like, that's a constant battle. Um, but and then what I learned, so I wrote the first half of that book in order of chapters, right? So switching between each one, which slowed me down so much. So I got to the halfway point and I was like, I'm going to write all of the Everly chapters. And then I'm going to write all of the Ava and then Savalin and then Nora. And that sped it up a lot because I didn't have to like go in and out of their heads. I could just stay in one for a couple of
Mm.
weeks and it was, you have to plan well, but it did make it a little bit easier.
I actually like that idea. I might even use it because my
Yeah.
books actually changes POVs from two characters. And so I'm like, I have to like think, go back to the same character, see what happens, and then go back and switch. But I was like,
Hard.
yes. So I'm like, I like that idea. I might even, try that and see
Just
how
test
that
it
goes.
out.
So, so who is the character that, readers tend to fall in love with the most? Do you have one in particular?
So this is funny because like when I am sitting at a table and I have all of their bookmarks with their little pictures on them, and I kind of explain the background of who they are. And most of the time, people pick up Nora. She's dressed in like her warrior armor, her silver hair is like over her shoulder. They always pick up Nora. But when readers come who have already read the book, and I'm like, who's your favorite? What bookmark do you want? They almost always pick Ava, which is crazy because she's in it the least. Like she has the fewest chapters, the shortest chapters. So I'm like, how does that work? But I love it. And then next to her, I think Everly is I've had quite a few readers tell me Everly is their favorite, which she's really hard not to like. I feel like she, like you said, she's all sass, all snark. She doesn't take
Hmm.
any shit from anybody, especially not Bristol. Um, and she's just like she's pretty fearless, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I really like her. I think she could be my best friend.
Yes, that's all we want.
So, which character do you think misunderstand the most, or would misunderstand the most?
So easily, I think Deckard is the most misunderstood, but like that's intentional. Like you should not understand him in this book. There's so much more that you have to learn about him. But like my best friend, for example, she hates him. I'm getting character art done, and one of them is of him, and she's like, I hate it. I hate him. Like I hate everything about him. And I'm like, what? I'm one so excited that I wrote a character distinctive enough for you to hate that much, but like also you give him like you there's so much you don't know about him. Give him a chance. Maybe he's dealing with some stuff too, you know?
I actually, uh, when I read that's the part where he was, you know, that part where he was there, and that's the one. Very original. That's the one that I wanted to slap. But but he then at the end when he was talking, his way of speaking and his thoughts and everything, like his persona shifted. So it changed dramatically to was like, okay, wait, he was mean. Now he's what's going on?
Yeah, like
So
was he
it's
like
like,
that?
yeah. So there's I feel like there is more to his character because it seems like he is not a bad person. He's actually a good character, like a good has a good soul. I could literally tell at the end that I was like, okay, wait, what just happened? First he was being this way that I wanted to go and slap him, and now it's like, okay, we need to
Why
slow
was
down.
yeah, why was he acting like that? Maybe it wasn't of his own accord. Maybe there was something else going on. Who
Oh,
knows?
yeah. Is that gonna be revealed in the second book or
Yes.
yes?
So it's getting really exciting. The second book starts with a prologue from the end of the war that Everly and Bristol kind of reference towards the end. She's always having flashbacks of it of something happening. So it starts there. And then it jumps back into pretty much where we left off. But Deckard comes back. He is a bigger character in this one. So he has his own POVs like throughout the book instead of just like at the end. So we get to learn more about what he's been doing, why he may have acted that way, and then we kind of get to see how he's acting and behaving today.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait because I literally saw the little persona of his you can literally tell like he was hurting in a way. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to understand him later because he was being so I really did hate him at the beginning. And I was like, he's so mean. And like, ay. I was
Yeah.
like, I need to get into that book and knock some sense on to him. But but later, like I said, later I was like, okay, well, something's different, and he was talking a little bit more like a hurt person, more like he's hurt. He's like shocked, and I'm like, okay, there's something else going on. There's something
Yeah.
else.
And on the so in the Citadel when they're in the on the Ever Steps, did you kind of pick up on like what she was doing to him while he was
Hmm.
like, yes,
Yes, yes,
like
yes. After that, I was like, "Oh wow!" Is like instead of he's the one basically in charge, she was actually the one in charge, and I'm like, she was like, man, I smile when she like tricked them and she became this badass person, and
yeah.
they're like all freaking out now, and I was like, well, you shouldn't mess with somebody like that. You got what you deserve. And so yeah, when he went and tried to explain it to everybody, I was like, and basically I was the way he expressed it, I felt like he was basically in love with her. And I'm like, Oh my God, I can literally feel his pain in that. And so that's why uh I didn't like hate him totally after that. And I was like, there's something behind that because you can feel uh what he feels for her in that.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
so glad that that came through though. And I
Yeah.
think, let me double check. I can't really remember chapters, but there's like a Stassi chapter. There may only be one Stassi chapter, but it kind of gives you, there's something that she says in there that like kind of gives insight into what, like why he was acting that way.
Hmm.
Let me see what she says. I should know all the chapters by heart, right? No.
It's so
Okay.
long.
It's chapter 46. It's basically she figured out what Dinezda has on him. What so Dinezda is the minister of the Senate. So
Hmm.
she figures it out and then she kind of comments on it. But yeah, that little nugget is hidden in chapter, what did I say? 46? 46.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna have to, whenever I go through 46, I'm gonna have to really pay attention. Pay attention to it. Okay, so were any scenes that you were emotionally wrecked while writing them?
Yeah. So, okay, I was thinking about doing a video of like showing how I write sad scenes, and I have to actually make myself cry and then I write it. Um, so like in this one for me, I think the last Savalin chapter was really hard for me to write. Like the last half of that chapter. And like, you know, as a reader, like, you know, it can't end like that. But still, I was like bawling. And then and then that Stassi chapter 2 was really hard because you learn, you know, something about her, which there's a reader, her name is Courtney. Hey, Courtney. When she started reading, she read it as an arc and she was like, oh, she was only a couple of chapters in and she was like, oh, like I have a sister. Like I love sister stories. And I was like, like, oh, you're gonna love this one. So like making
Oh,
that.
oh, yeah, when I found out what she did, I was like, that's messed up.
Yeah, like what she trusted one Nora trusted one person and that is it. And then like, you know what? Now see if she ever trusts anybody ever again.
Oh no, when I read it, I was like, no, that's not right.
No. And then, but I've had people tell me that Stassi is their favorite character. And I'm like, did you not finish the book? Like, what do you mean?
I was like, if my sister did that to me, I hate her. I
Yeah,
would
she's
hate
gonna get
her.
Spartan kicked off a mountain.
Oh, I know. And it's like, oh, they have to read it to see it because, or to, see it in their mind because, yeah, definitely when I find out what she did, I was like, it's your fault, you
Yeah.
know? It's your fault. Not look where she is. It's your fault. And everything happened because of you. Where was there any scene, or a favorite scene or favorite character that you would, bring out to the world?
I want to bring all of them out to the world so
You get to
bad.
choose one.
I think you know, I think it would be really awesome to have Savalin in the world. I think she would just be so chill and like a very reassuring presence. And I think she'd also be down to like travel and try all the restaurants. I mean, Everly also would try all the restaurants. She eats all the time.
Right.
But I think it would be really cool as Savalin is keeper of wisdom. So she like loves to learn and, you know, experience new things. Corrales was keeper of wonder. So like her actual duties were to go travel the world and learn about all the cultures and bring back information. But I think Savalin would also be really cool to have.
Savannah. Um, how did you determine, like, was it that in your mind the way she speaks? I know there's different forms of people, of the character speaking. I know she has like a, maybe if I'm not mistaken, she's the one that has British. She
Yes.
speaks British. Yeah. So how did you determine like you wanted her to speak British?
Yeah.
And
That's a really good question. I in my so when I was writing them, they all just sounded like me. They didn't have any accent. And then when I started working with Rickle to do the audiobook, I was like, yeah, well, they're from all over. They should, let's make them fancy. Um, like I remember, so I read Throne of Glass, the series, the first time through, right? And then I went back and listened to the audiobook. And I remember the first time I heard Rolf start talking and he sounded like a pirate. And I was like, oh my God. I knew he was a pirate. I should have read him that way. I was like, I want to have something like that. So I want to make them all different. Um, and so like when you like if you look at the map, this is kind of a spoiler, but it's not too bad. This is actually like a map of it's kind of like the shape, almost the shape of Europe. But the
uh,
places are different. So like it's kind of like revisionist history almost. Like I've gone back
mhm,
and made them a little bit different, but like the Rainbow Alps, like there are Rainbow Alps in China, like pretty close to where they're located on the map. So like, and then, as you move through the rest of the crossing, so like the wilds, the olive steppes, the stone bells, and the jade isles, um, those are all based on like real things.
mhm.
So I just made them a little more fantastic, to fit into a fantasy book. And so like Savalin's people, what's cool about them is so the catacombs are like right here, dead center, and it's like a dotted line, but their people spread all across the continent. So they just between different covenary, you can have every accent. Like something you'll learn in the next book about the covenary is that like their whole purpose is to blend and to learn. So yeah, you've got every accent there. And Audrian, she's got almost like a Russian accent. But her last name is out of Ostov, so like it just made sense.
Yeah.
And then trying to think who else. Oh, like Cora and Nirvana have really awesome accents. Like I just want Rickle to read to me in that accent like the whole time. I would love that.
What was the process of how long did it take you to write that story from the beginning of the idea to publishing?
What's
About
your
how long?
guess?
I'm gonna say maybe a year too.
I appreciate that. So it actually took me 4 months to write, cover to cover.
Uh-huh.
It took me a month to edit. So I went through it, edited the whole thing, and then sent it. Like when I sent it to my line editor, I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to come back with zero mistakes. It did not. It came back with quite a few grammatical. Like I clearly do not know how to uh, use proper punctuation around dialogue. So I now have learned. I'm on to them. But that whole process took a month. So my editing was a month, theirs was a month. And then so 6 months to get the book ready. And then cover design, the interior artwork, the map, that stuff. Kind of, I started it at the same time as I did the editing. So it that took about 2 months to get all of that done. So with the 1 month of overlap, like 7 months, and then we sent it to print. So it went really fast.
Yeah.
So fast. It and I think it was the first one, so I could, make all of this stuff up. I didn't have to answer all these questions that I now have to answer.
Mhm.
So like this second one is really, it's going so slow. And I, with my purse, like my book travel and then my actual work travel, I'm traveling every single week. So I'm on a plane every single week, and it's really eating into my writing time. But like, for example, the first one took the 4 months to write. And I started this one in January. And so we're now like almost through June, and I have not completed the main, like the biggest POV. I've still got like 4 chapters left. I think it's gonna be a really large book though, because like we're already at 80,000 words, and that's
Oh.
one POV. So there's just like, the characters now. And so I don't have to do all this explaining. Now we can just like get into the story. And so it's just like taking off. It's so big. And so I'm like, I need to chill, or this book is going to be 6 inches tall, you know?
Is there any printing for 6 inches tall books?
No.
You're gonna have to split it. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
But the fact that you wrote it in such a small amount, I'm like very impressed because
Thank you.
I'm like, do you have a full-time job and then writing, or just writing
Mhm.
is your job
Yeah.
during
So
break?
my day job, I am a structural engineer. Um,
Oh.
So I don't do design anymore. So now I'm in sales, which is pretty cool. Like I travel the country and basically talk to other structural engineers about a specific product that my company makes. So it's just like chatting, traveling and chatting, and then like coordinating some designs. So it's not like super, like I'm not drained at the end of the day or at the beginning. I usually write in the mornings. So it is, it does keep me very, very busy. But yeah, that first one just was so fast. Like, and I didn't have anything to go off of. I thought that was normal speed because like the novellas, for example, they're little, but they take like 2 weeks to write cover to cover. And then like I send them to the editor, and so I thought 4 months was totally reasonable. And I thought that I could keep repeating that. But as the story grows, and like as the spreadsheet that I keep track of it in expands tabs, like I'm now learning I have to slow down.
Wow, that's very impressive. I'm like, the previous author that I had interviewed, she did it in 9 months, and now you're like did it in seven. I'm like, well, I need to hurry up.
No, don't rush. Like it should be, and I always have to tell myself this, like it should be enjoyable. Like
Yeah.
we do it because we love it. Like don't stress yourself out. I was like sleeping like 3 and 4 hours like recently, and I made myself really sick. So I was like, stop doing that. Like if the arc comes out a couple months late, it comes out late. No one is gonna worry except for you. So like take all the time that you need. Don't be obnoxious like me. And I'm a horrible example.
What was the process of you're self-published, correct?
Yes.
Have you tried to do it with like a publishing company, or you're not trying to get to that direction?
I mean, that's a dream. That would be awesome. But I wrote the very first thing I ever wrote was a lit fic. And I wrote it like in 20, what are we in 2026? So that would have been 2023. And I was like so proud of it. I was like, this is the most perfect book that's ever been created, manuscript that's, ever been born. And I queried, I mean, I probably queried like 80 agents. Um, and I all rejections. Some of them just like didn't respond. And I was like so defeated. This is terrible. Why would I ever do this to myself? I wasted all this time and effort. And so after going through that process for like a year, that one took me 8 months to write alone. Like it was really a difficult book. But after going through that, I was like, this should just be fun. Like, I don't want to have to write it to fit it into somebody's mold.
Hmm.
I want to tell the story that I like, which my taste isn't like I guess it's not a super marketable, like huge group of readers. I like a complicated book. I want to be thinking. I want to find new stuff on every reread. I want to be surprised. I don't want to expect anything. So I was like, I'm just going to write that book for me. And if people like it, they like it. If they hate it, that's fine. And so it made the whole process so freeing. And I like knew that I wasn't going to have to send it to someone to be rejected. I was just going to get to write it and publish it. And it made the experience a lot better for me.
Oh, that's wonderful. I want to actually get to that point because obviously you first finish your first manuscript and then you have to go through edits. How many edits did you go through on this one?
On this one, so I only did a line edit. Um, it was one round. I worked with a really talented lady from the UK, actually. So she did it. It was funny because in the Word document she sent back, went through edits, it was the British word. So, like, when I copied that document over and started to write this second book, every time I tried to spell something like with one L, it would tell me it was misspelled with two because it was the British, like it was set to British writing. And I was like, how do I turn this off? Uh, yeah, it was horrible, but she did a great job. And I sent her the completed manuscript after I had gone through, and she did her one round. So she went through, she didn't do like developmental edits. She really just went through and checked all the grammar, all the spelling. But it saved me, like, because when I originally wrote it, I wasn't going to send it to, I was just going to like self edit and then full send and be like, come at me. I can't, I spelled barbecue wrong in there. Um, my brain sees, what are the two words? It sees them the same. So I always like transpose them. I think it's when and what. Like my brain cannot see the difference between those two words. So like sometimes they're in the wrong spots. And so she caught that. And it was just really comforting to have another set of eyes on it in the end.
Yeah.
Like that took a lot of stress off.
Well, that's wonderful. I actually, since this is my first book that I'm trying to write, I'm like, I'm gonna have to go through a bunch of edits myself before I send it out. But that is did you enjoy the whole process though? The whole from the beginning to the end? And right now that how many tours have you gone, like signing tours or
Oh, a lot. So the writing, just like the sitting down and writing is that is my favorite part of the whole publishing process. I think that is so fun. That's when I get to like push the world out and all I'm focused on are these characters that live and speak in my head, like I'm crazy, which I am, but I just get to hang out with them and write the book. So that's my favorite part. What I wasn't expecting is everything else that goes with it. Like, and this is part of being an indie author, is like all of, you're building a business. So like I had to get an LLC and go through all of that filing. And then I had to build a website and I had to learn how to, like, where do you even get books printed? How do you get special editions printed? Where do you find artists? Like, and I did all of this by doing it wrong a lot of the time and then learning from that. So the second one will be much smoother, we hope, knock on wood. Um, but so that was pretty challenging. Those were things I was not planning. I never thought about, oh, I'm gonna have to do all that. So because it is a big time thing, as well as the social media marketing part of it is a big challenge for me because, like, I am not a big social media person at all, like in my real life. So having to be on, every day and thinking of posts, like I'm not clever and like cute. I can't think of cool, fun, cute things to post. My brain does not, it's not built for that. So that's really a struggle. But then the signings make all of that worth it. Like it is just the coolest experience to get to take this thing that you've made and show it to people and like see their reaction to it. And then later on down the line, get to hear what they think about it. Like it just makes the whole thing worth it. This book came out in December, so December 16th of 2025. And my first event was in the very beginning of January in Panama City, Florida. And that's where it started. So, Bookish Boutique in Panama City. And then I have done like 3 to 4 events every month since. So it's been very busy. But it's like this morning I woke up and I had an email from a bookstore. They were like, "Hey, like we've had some cancellations for July. Would you like we would love to have you back. Would you want to come in?" I was like, "Absolutely. Like, what do you mean? Of course. Like, this is so cool." So all of these moments after the fact make all of those struggles so worth it. I've gotten to go to cool places too and like meet all the so readers that you meet on the internet, you get to meet them at like these events and they become some of your best friends. Like I went to San Francisco for an event in it was like maybe April or May. And one of my ARC readers, she lives in San Francisco, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, like can I make some treats for your table? Like I can make baklava and like take this Waymo." And like she brought like treats. And I mean like an enormous tray. We had a whole table stacked with them. And it was the best stuff I've ever put in my mouth. It was so good. And she just came to hang out and like just be a part of it. And it was so cool to get to meet her. And then like in at the end of July, beginning of August, there's an event in York, Pennsylvania called FableCon. And one of my ARC readers that lives on that side of the country is like, I'll go. I'll come see you. I'll come help you at your table. Like I've already picked out a lavender shirt and like it just like broke my heart in the best way. I'm like, this is not real life. What do you mean you picked out a lavender shirt and you want to come hang out? Like that is too cool. I don't know how I got so lucky with like the best ARC readers who have turned into like really good friends. Like it has just been so cool.
I bet. I can't wait to get to that point, and the fact that I see you as accomplishing that, it's like I want to accomplish it too. Did you ever get that author's non-sellable book, from Amazon, or you never got that? The one that they you upload and then you print out a non-sellable printout version from Amazon, or you never did?
Like a proof?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I got quite a few Amazon proofs just to like test out the covers. Because my first, so like this cover design, the
Mm-hmm.
purple, the lavender that is the base, it does not print on Amazon. You cannot, it looked bad. Like I probably got 7 different proofs, like trying different things to make it work. And it looked bad every single time. It went from looking like a computer manual to looking like a weird, faded, like fake book. So I actually had to go and get a second cover. The Amazon books have a second cover that doesn't look like this. It's like a dark purple with like a sword on the front. It looks really cool, but it's the Amazon special edition now because this one doesn't print there. But yeah, the proofs are really helpful just to make sure everything looks right.
Did you get excited when you got your first one just to explain?
Oh yeah. And then like the Amazon one was so exciting. And then the Ingram one, when that one came in and it like felt like they feel very different. That was super exciting. And then when the first one came in with the sprayed edges, like I almost cried. I was like, that is not my book. Like it was foiled and it had sprayed edges. I was like, there's no way. Like I can show you that like
Oh wow,
foily
so pretty.
edges. This one they actually did in Poland. I just got them in like last month. Let me find they printed like on the images they printed like on a glossy paper and it looks so good. They
Wow.
did such a good job. But like with the black with the purple, doesn't that look cool?
Yes, that looks so cool. I'm actually holding off to get mine because I want to get it whenever you come to Income Realms. And I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm so patiently waiting for you to be there so you can like sign it for me. It'll be so
Yes,
exciting.
ma'am. That's gonna be so fun. I can't wait.
I know. I can't. I've been preparing behind the scenes, trying to get all those, uh, plans get together because it's basically, Incan Rome will be like a quest. So basically, whoever goes in, they have to follow what the, little quest on the passports I'm
Ooh.
creating. So there, one of them is like they have to go through all of the, vendors, which is, the I guess the artisans of the realm. So they have to go through there and accomplish all these quests and and also go through the court sessions, which is the Q&A sessions that we're gonna have. So I'm planning it really. I'm trying to do it as immersive and fun, so that whoever gets there, they don't really have to be there all day, but it is something that's gonna be fun. Just imagine yourself having the Harry Potter style, like immersive, and then having entering from Houston to a different realm, but also having that kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese feeling that you can accomplish those, games and stuff like that. And at the end, you get like a prize, but a grown-up
Ooh.
prize. So it's gonna be fun and it's gonna be enjoyable, and I can't wait to have you there. I'm like super happy and super excited that that day will come. It's almost like around 87 days from now.
It's
So,
so close. Time
oh
is
yeah.
flying. It doesn't make any sense. It is moving so quickly, but it is going to be, yeah, the whole immersive part of it is going to be so cool. I can't wait to see what you put together. I love interactive things, so that's
Hmm.
like right up my alley.
Yeah, so we'll see. I have so much work still to work on that, but I am super excited to have you and everybody else there to feel that immersion, and hopefully people would enjoy it because I am planning not to just do it this once. I'm actually trying to do it every 6 months. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes on this first one. So I am super happy you were here with me today. I was so excited that I was able to meet you, the person that's gonna be at Incan Realms, and the fact that your story. I love the fact that you did an audiobook version. I really loved it, and I thank you so much for that because not a lot of indie authors, and that's fine, they get what they're able to, but the fact that you had that ability and I was able to, because of that, I was able to be part of that, and I was like so happy you had it. I was so excited when I first got it. I was like, oh, let me listen to it. No joke. I was super happy that you had it because I was able to listen to it. And I'm a big Audible girly. So I
Yes.
listen because I have so many things I have to do. And it's really hard for me to sit down and read. So I'm trying to get that in there. But right now, with all my like busy schedule, it's so hard. So whenever I'm doing my crafting, I tend to listen to it, or whenever I'm driving somewhere, I listen to it. But yeah, definitely I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, this person, she has another book version. So I was so excited. So thank you so much for having that. I really appreciate it. And thank you for being here today. I am super excited. Do you have any author's tip? Because I usually try to get some author's tip for, new emerging authors, want to write, or they're writing, they're just like not finishing their first manuscript or many of that. So of all the things that you've done through the beginning to now, what is one tip that you would like to tell any author out there?
The one tip. So this is something that I read and it's so simple, but it really makes a lot of difference. I have you'll notice that I have a really hard time summarizing this book to people because there's a lot that goes on. So it's difficult. But I read one time that, before you ever write the story, write the summary. So you know exactly what you're writing, and then the story blooms from there. And that's what I did with the second book. And like it's made it more structured, but also just a lot easier because just know going down the road, you're going to have to give your pitch like a million times. So it needs to be short, sweet, have a really good hook. So I think that's like a big thing that, I didn't,
Mhm.
the first time I went to write a book, I just like started writing and just, was along for the ride to see where it went. But having that done in the beginning does seem to make a huge difference. And then also just like make sure that you love the story that you're writing because you're going to have to read it so many times. You're going to have to edit it. You're going to have to read it again after your editor does. Like, you need to really love it and make sure it's a story for you. And like, don't write to try to fit, what you think is popular. Like, make sure that you like it first.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that tip. I actually like that. I might even use it
Yeah.
myself. So really happy you are here today, being with me, and I'm so excited for you to be here at Ink and Rails. And when is your next signing tour? In the next couple of days or next weeks?
I actually am going. So I leave here on Friday to go to DFW for the Texas Horror Festival. It's not only horror, a horror lit
Mhm.
fest, but it's horror and fantasy. So I will be there Saturday and Sunday with special editions and I'll be signing. And then what is this? This is June. So that's my last June event. And then it picks up in the second week of July and then keeps going until like September. So when I get to see you.
Yay! I'm so excited about it. Well, thank you so much for being here with me. I'm super happy that we got to meet talk about your book because I had those questions.
Yeah.
I needed to tell you I had to slap, I wanted to slap him. But either way, thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really hope your book just becomes very, very popular. I'm gonna be talking about it a lot too
Thank you so
because
much.
I really enjoyed it. I really like all the characters, and once I'm gonna keep listening to it because I got to really get all the nuggets in there. And whenever I get the physical book, because like I said, I'm waiting for you. Whenever you get there, so you can sign it. I'm gonna go through it again, and I'm gonna go and read it and listen to it again because you miss a lot of things, and so I'm like, I need to do that. I really want to. So thank you so much for being here, and you know, uh, thank you, and have a wonderful book signings on the next week or something.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun. I love to get to chat all things books, especially my book. So that's so fun. And I love getting to hear about your own writing process. And I can't wait to see you in September.
Yay! So thank you so much, and guys, this is Luz Evan Canning with her book Kingdom of Time.